I'm back with another market update, and tonight's topic is Gables Estates. So, Gables Estates is one of the premier gated neighborhoods in all of Miami-Dade County. Almost all the homes in Gables Estates are on the water. Some of them have direct bay views. So, property values in Gables Estates are extremely high, like really high. There's a total of 192 properties inside Gables Estates. Like I said, I think there's only like 10 of them that aren't on the water. Most of them are at least an acre or more. So when you think about Coral Gables, besides Journey's End, Gables Estates has the most valuable real estate. Journey's End is 12 houses. Gables Estates has almost 200 houses. So it's a lot bigger. And here's what's interesting about Gables Estates, if you didn't know. If you want to buy a home in Gables Estates, you have to apply to the HOA and get approved. The HOA application and membership fee is $100,000. So and of course, values in Gables Estates are like $10 million and up. So $100,000 in the grand scheme of things isn't that much money. But all this is to say, you have to have a lot of money if you want to live in Gables Estates. Now, when it comes to my market update, because Gables Estates isn't that big, it's not like I'm working with tons of data. So I give this information with a little grain of salt. If there were 12 homes that sold and 11 of them sold for the home and one sold for land value, and we don't really know what the buyer was going to do with the property, it can skew our numbers. Needless to say, this is pretty interesting stuff. So I'm going to dive into it, but wanted to give you a little background on Gables Estates. Okay. Right now, today, there are 4 houses on the market, ranging in price from $22 million to $40 million. Everything on the market. Pete, I think you should buy a house in Gables Estates. Do you want the one for $22 million or the one for $40 million? They're all on the water. They're all amazing. There's one that's pending that the asking price is $24 million, and it's going to close any day now. So it'll be interesting to see what that one closes for. And we've only had 5 sales this year in all of Gables Estates. One of them sold in March for $4.7 million, but that one was on Old Cutler, not behind the gate. So it sold a little less than what we'd see if it was behind the gate in Gables Estates. Everything else that sold this year, so the 4 other sales, $10 million, $31 million, $38 million, and $45 million. So I think Ethan, who just said these are so overpriced, when we're seeing sales at $45 million, value is what a willing buyer and a willing seller are willing to accept. So if $45 million was the right price, then I guess that's just what things go for in Gables Estates. Most likely, although I don't know because I don't have it in front of me, the $45 million sale probably had a bay, direct bayfront, huge water frontage, I would imagine. Okay, last year there were 6 sales all year. So we're not talking about a whole lot of turnover here. What did I say? There's about 200 homes in Gables Estates. This year we've had 5 sales. Last year we had 6 sales. The lowest last year sold for $8.35 million, and it was the only one of the 6 that wasn't on the water. And the rest went between $10.3 million up to $25 million. Now, in 2020, Gables Estates had 18 sales. So a lot more homes sold in 2020 than last year or this year. That year, 6 were not on the water, which is interesting. There's only like 10 in there that aren't. So a lot of the homes that sold were those non-waterfront homes. 12 of them were on the water. The waterfront homes sold from anywhere from $7 million up to a sale that was for $37.5 million on 3.3 acres. And then non-waterfront sold anywhere between $4 million up to $13.6 million. So that, for 2020, that was a high sale for a non-waterfront home in Coral Gables. Now, when you look at like asking price to sold price, a lot of these homes are selling, not a lot, I should say, some of these homes are selling for like 65% of the asking price, whereas others are selling much closer to the asking price. There's not a big correlation. You know, it largely depends on the house, how much they're asking, what it's worth, and what the buyer's willing to pay. I can't like pinpoint, oh, this year we sold for a closer sale to list price ratio than another year. I'm going to leave you with this. There is a home on the market right now, 530 Arvida, listed for $39.5 million. This particular home sold last year, 1 year ago, for $25 million. So $25 million in 2021, they're asking almost $40 million today. 13,000 square feet, beautiful waterfront home. If any of you are looking to buy, I'll help you buy it. It's gorgeous. And that's all I've got for Gables Estates. So join me tomorrow. I'm pretty sure tomorrow I'm talking about Gables by the Sea, which is another spectacular waterfront community in Miami. Slightly less valuable than Gables Estates, largely because it's farther south and lots aren't quite as big. But it'll be interesting to see what's happening there. I hope you join me, and I hope you all have a great night.